for fast, cheap, and reliable Madden 21 Ultimate Team coins. Make sure you guys go check out my sponsor, Easy Mutt. Use code VENOM at checkout for 5% off. Yo, what's good guys, Ben on Fire here back from the video, and today me bringing you guys another money play. This one's going to be out of the gun bunch formation, out of the New York Jets offensive playbook. This has been a pretty popular gun bunch as of late. If you guys do want me to make a full offensive ebook on the New York Jets offense, let me know, because it's really good. I've been starting to use it just a little bit. I've ran a couple of games with it. Overall, there's a ton of great plays. You see Jets dig. This mesh play at that top, very good play as well. But we're going to focus in on this Jets dig play. It's one of the best stock plays in the game out of a regular gun bunch. It is only in the Jets playbook. Now, there are obviously some similar plays, but this Jets dig stock play is only going to be out of the New York Jets offensive playbook. Now, as far as personnel goes, abilities goes, all that jazz, the things that you need are going to be a slot apprentice or a wide receiver apprentice just right here on the outside. So that's something that we went ahead and got with Adam Thielen. Also, I went ahead and traded over a tight end because tight end apprentice, definitely something nice to have in addition. So that's pretty much the abilities you have. I do recommend obviously getting gunslinger, backfield master, but we're not going to need those for any of these setups. But obviously, if you're running the offense, those do help. Also, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below. We're on the road to 14,000 subscribers. We're about 80 away. Make sure you subscribe if you're new to the channel. Also, follow me on Twitter. Link will be down below in the description. Go check that out. But yeah, with that being said, let's just go ahead and jump straight into it. Jets dig. I got about 4 setups with this. Obviously, if I made a full ebook, there would be a little bit more setups. As far as the coverages I'm going to go up against, man coverage, cover 2, cover 3, the basics. We'll start out with just a stock cover 3 here. Now, obviously, you can kind of see, if you know a little bit about the game, how this would be a cover 3 beater. Just taking a look at our stock routes, you see we got this nice fade route from the slot. We have this weird tight end hitch, which we're actually never going to keep on our field with Travis Kelce, but it is kind of a unique route. We obviously have our check down on that left side, and then we have just a dig and a backside flat. So a couple of routes to take note of, but obviously we're going to be focusing in on Chisnia. Honestly, I don't know who this guy is, but he was the fastest player on the Vikings with 95 speed. He's a 60 overall, but he's still going to cook in this video. So we'll start out with the stock cover 3 beater, and it's just going to be B on a corner route. Now, like I said, we're not really going to leave A on his route, but just to show you guys the cover 3 beater a little bit, that's what we're going to do. Now, all I'm going to do is motion him out just a couple of steps. Right about here is good. You see he's going to pull down a Woozier right there, just passing to the outside. Really, really nice basic setup. So you see how the corner route's going to pull him out. No route really does that as well this year. In the past, like out routes would do it, and out routes still can from the slot, but from that outside spot, not very effective. Comebacks, not very effective. So you really do need corner routes to be successful in these cover 3 beaters, which is why we got that slot apprentice ability with Adam Thielen. Now, here I'm just going to, again, show you guys the cover 3 beater, but we're going to add a couple of hot routes. So, decent basic way to run this would be a 6-man protection, because, again, people will send blitz at you occasionally. You got to be prepared for that. So, a little setup I would probably run is going to be my tight end just on a streak. So, similar to the clear out FL in play out of Washington and Detroit playbooks. This is a setup that would kind of be similar. What I would also do is throw just him X on a drag route. So if you can, get playmaker on that solo side receiver. If not, you're perfectly fine. But this setup is definitely going to help. It's obviously going to put more stress on that middle safety and create even a little bit more separation than we already had originally. So again, I'm going to motion him out, get him pulled down, and just pass lead outside. You see even more space with even a later time frame that we threw that football. So it gives us options. Overall, very, very good setup with that. I'll show it again here. Just block your running back, go ahead and throw your tight end on a streak, be on a corner route, and then X just on that backside drag. And overall, very, very solid. For example, if they were to send heat, this would definitely do pretty solid at stopping them. So again, boom, cover 3, it's going to be wide open. Now, against cover 2, it's a little bit tricky. Travis Kelce probably wasn't the best selection. I should have went with someone like Darren Waller for this, because he's a little bit faster, but sometimes if they were to run cover 2 on you, if I switch to cover 2, sometimes this tight end on a little streak can actually get open. Now, Again, Travis Kelce's on the slower end. Obviously, an ultimate team, you can get a lot more speed there, but I believe I still might be able to get him just briefly open. But yeah, you see, not very good against cover 2, as you kind of would imagine, because of the route spacing is not too good. Even though that receiver's going to the outside, he doesn't stretch the strong safety enough, and overall it's just not open enough. You would need to run like a streak from X, streak from A, something like this. And then I would have to like completely motion B out and throw him on like a curl to maybe have a little bit of success against cover 2. So overall, that's a little bit of a weakness for it, but again, we're not going to focus too much on that. Let's hop into some other setups now. Throughout these setups, you'll see the 2 constant routes are going to be my RB route, this little stretch route, as well as Adam Thielen on a corner route. Now, we have other setups that aren't necessarily built to run one-play touchdowns that we'll go over, but these are 2 of the routes that will pretty much keep constant through the majority of the video. Now, just hopping into kind of a similar setup to what we had before, I'm going to throw my tight end on a little crosser, and I'm going to throw this backside receiver on a drag again. So also for this setup, you notice I'm going to go ahead and keep my running back flat. That's going to definitely help out with our tight end crosser. Now, even Kelce, he's not even running the super deep tight end crosser that you'll get, that some tight ends get, so it can even get more open than this. But again, I'm just going to motion him out. That can also help against certain coverages, but you see Kelce gets in a really nice spot there. The drag routes are the best routes for pulling down any zones, especially if his zone drops are not set for those yellow zones. So overall, able to get open right there. Again, the setup was B on a corner, A on a crosser, and just X on a drag. Pretty quick snap type setup. And again, I can still check down. So that time he kind of stayed a little bit higher than I would want him to throw that crosser. So I'm just going to go ahead and check down pretty simply to Justin Jefferson coming across. Even if he kind of disguises this, like with the cover 1, we have man coverage beaters kind of all across the board with the corner route. And even Chisnia right there, I think that's how you pronounce his name, can get open against just man coverage if he has good enough route running. Route tech, I believe, also helps on this kind of a route. But yeah, just this same kind of a setup. You motion, this corner route's going to get open because he's not going to get pressed. You see if you have enough speed, you can definitely get open with your fade route, just like he did there. But again, you need a speed advantage. Some of those abilities will help out. Yeah, with that being said, let's move into some other stuff now. Now the next thing we're going to do is create kind of a setup that would be used if you did not have tight end apprentice, and then we'll hop into a similar concept with tight end apprentice. So our first setup is going to be just A on an out route. We're actually going to smart out that out route, create kind of a flood concept. Now as far as these backside routes, you can kind of do whatever you want, but usually I would just leave them B, or I would block my running back, so I can just run it like this. And again, it depends on how much pressure your opponent's sending. If he's not sending any pressure, definitely send that flat route out every single time without any concern. But here's a look at something I would probably run, and then I would go ahead and motion Thielen out just like a step. If it's open, I can definitely quick snap throw this flat route. Now the animations are pretty terrible on those types of routes this year, I will say that. But sometimes you can pick up like 5 yards. You'll take that every time, force him to play underneath. But overall, decent little route combo there. Again, you're seeing if he's going to play that super far over the top. But again, do recommend motioning him out every single time. I can kind of step up in the pocket, low ball, and fit him into the zone. You see the curl flat gets pulled out super far outside. And even with that combo, occasionally you still actually can get the cover 3 beater, but because the tight end's so slow developing, usually that deep route's going to be covered. But again, just kind of basic combo. Not every play has to be going deep. And you see how you still did have separation. I mean, we just got the windup of the century from Kirk Cousins, but it's going to be really deep. You're going to need 95, 97 throw power to make this pass. But you see how it's kind of there. I'll show it one more time. We'll see if we can go ahead and get it. But again, the tight end's just developing so slow. He's getting kind of bumped around, so it's not going to be super open. But I'll show it one more time, see if we can get it. I'm going to kind of scramble out. And yeah, just the windup's too long. If you had Gunslinger, that would be a touchdown with like 99 throw power or 97 throw power like I mentioned. But we just don't have that right now, so I can't show it. But you can kind of see how the outside cornerback got pulled down, so it's definitely there. Let's move into a similar concept to that one. And like I mentioned, this one's going to be using the tight end apprentice. What I would do is create kind of a bench concept. So I'm going to put A on a corner route. I'm going to smart out that to get it a little bit deeper. then I'm just going to throw B on an out route. So again, similar to bench, these types of route combinations are pretty popular this year. Just like a corner out and an out route, pretty underrated. And again, you see I'm pretty much keeping X on his route. Again, I can always like drag him and block my running back. If you are going to block your running back, I like the drag a little bit better than the in route because the backside zones are just going to defend the in route pretty easily. And then this drag is just going to get pretty open. So that's what I would recommend as far as potential route combos. But yeah, here's a look at something you would go ahead and do. Again, let's pretend that they're changing coverages. They're not always going to be in cover 3, but again, this is the best play in the offense. So you kind of have to adjust. So we're going to motion them out. The out route's not there. I'm going to kind of roll out late in the play. The out route will be open. Against cover 2, it's not going to be super, super good. That's something that you kind of got to take. But again, as far as just different route combinations, you can really get unique with this play. You really just keep one route and you can kind of do whatever you want. Again, here's a look at that route combo against cover 3. The out route's going to be a little bit more open. And then the corner out's going to get open. But you see how if he deep halves, the corner out's going to be open. But if he keeps that outside third, the one play TD will be open. So again, just different unique combos. The difference in this would be overall just opening up the field a little bit more, opening up the sidelines a little bit more than you have been. And I still can leave this little flat route if I want to. So I can easily run a combo like this, have success. We'll see if we can get this cover 3 beater, one play TD here. I'm going to roll out and hit him on the run. That was out of range, so he kind of ducked the ball or whatever you would call it. Didn't get the ball as deep as we wanted it there, but you see it is open. That was probably because I threw it on the run, but again, I can leave this flat out. The flat's going to be easier to throw than the out route, but again, just pick up on your opponent's tendencies, something like this. Boom, I pump fake. If you deep halves, you're going to throw the corner out usually, which you'll see. I'm actually going to deep half now, so that happens. But here I'm actually going to shade underneath. Let's say they're pretending to play underneath, not really respecting your routes. Again, I could put B on an out route or leave him on his flat. As far as this, if I want to block my running back, let's say he sends the slot corner, I'll block my running back here and put him on a backside drag. Again, I'm going to kind of motion over here, boom. And you see deep halves, it's just going to leave the sideline wide open. So even if they have like a curl flat or a cloud flat, sometimes you can definitely throw that over the top, depending on what their zone drops are set to. But overall, I gave you guys some nice setups. If you ask me, even stock, this play is going to be really good, really difficult to stop. You see, even this hitch route's not too bad. But yeah, if you want me to, again, make a full offense on this, let me know down below in the description. And yeah, it's going to do it. Follow me on Twitter and subscribe to the channel. Peace. I'm out of here.